Hey there folks, John here with Through My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with another knife review, and this time I'm taking a look at the new Zero Tolerance 0562. Now I have both versions of the knife here, both the premium 0562 CF and the regular 0562. And I want to emphasize that both of these models are regular production models. They're not limited edition. That means that you should be able to buy both models without any problems for the foreseeable future. As long as there's demand for both models, I think they'll stay in Zero Tolerance's catalog, and that's a really important thing. I also want to point out that this is a video supplement to my written photo review that can be found on Through My Lens. There is a link in the description box to the written photo review, and if you haven't done so already, I strongly recommend you click on that link and take a look. It's long, it's got lots of pictures, but it's going to have all the details and specifications that knife enthusiasts really want to see. This video supplement is more or less just my attempt to get some video footage out there. There'll be some comparison shots and just kind of my thoughts and opinions having used the knife for a few days. So there's a lot to go over here. I want to jump right in. The 0562, as of this recording, has just hit the street in the last week or so. People are finding the 0562 pretty easily. The 0562 CF is in more limited quantities right now. Again, they're both regular production models, so they're not limited editions. So that to me is very exciting because the CF model has premium materials that typically you've only seen in ZT limited edition models before, like the carbon fiber handle scale and the M390 blade steel that goes into that knife. The regular edition also has some pretty nice materials used in it as well. It's no slouch. LMAX steel and a G10 handle scale. And you know, just kind of comparing the two, I kind of consider this your show pony and this your workhorse. Okay. This one with the LMAX steel has got a stone-washed finish. It's not going to be as likely to show blade wear as will this carbon fiber version with the kind of pseudo satin finish here. So if you really think you're going to hard use a knife and don't like to see blade wear, then the 0562 regular edition will be probably the one that you want to go for. The more premium 0562 CF is a little prettier with the pretty carbon fiber handle scale, a little prettier finish, but that finish is going to show wear much more readily than the stonewash finish on the other model. So that to me really is the only difference in the two and what's going to be the deciding factor, because all other specifications are the same. They both flip wonderfully. Both knives ride on the KVT bearing system and have a nice detent, not too stiff, not too weak, just stiff enough to create a nice strong flip. Flips very similarly to the 0801. I thought my 0801 flipped just a little better. These seem to have not quite as strong a detent. And they both are pretty identical. The quality, the fit and finish, I think is excellent here. Both of them have well-centered blades. The flip is identical between them, so not a lot of variation here in the tolerances and specifications for the components that comprise these two knives. Again, just really impressive. I'm very impressed. And again, the way I use a knife in my world, I'm kind of a defensive guy. I'm an NRA certified instructor, concealed carry permit holder, and my primary use for a knife is as either a primary defensive weapon in an environment where I cannot carry a firearm, or it's a backup when I can carry a firearm. And from that perspective, the 0562 is probably the best knife that ZT has produced, or just about any other production company that I've taken a look at who has produced a knife. The ergonomics really are impressive. Okay, this is a Rick Hinderer design knife, and it's for all intents and purposes, it is a clone of his XM18. And one of the things about the XM18 that I found so difficult to duplicate is the ergonomics. How it feels and holds in hand, and you know, if you did have to use this, God forbid, as a defensive tool, you know, how easy that knife is to hang on to and how comfortable it is. And you can just see the contours that are kind of carved into the bottom side of the knife here just really do, your fingers just settle right in. The curved back goes really nice into the meaty part of your thumb there, and you can get a very positive purchase on this knife. And it's got some jimping here. It's not terribly functional. It's not real grippy, but it's adequate. The G10 does provide a little bit more positive purchase than does the carbon fiber scale. Not really a big deal when you're holding the knife, okay, because of the ergonomics of the knife. You're not going to slip off of either one when you're using them as a defensive tool. Where the slickness of that carbon fiber is going to come into play, oops, just about cut my thumb off there. Where that's going to come into play, let's take a look at the back side of this. And you can see that both of these knives have this really nice, extremely deep carry pocket clip. Ultra deep carry pocket clip. It's certainly, wow, look at that. Just kind of barely brushed up against the blade, and it did bite me. This is a different pocket clip design than ZT has ever done before. It's really impressive. Aesthetically, it's very similar to the Rick Hinderer pocket clip. You can see the similarities in how they're designed. It's a little better quality, higher grade materials than the previous ZT pocket clips. Here's a 050, and you can see this one very well designed, but the material's a little tinny, a little lacking. You can see this is also a deep carry pocket clip. This one much more so. You can see that, hopefully you can see this, there are actually 4 standoffs instead of the standard 3 that you normally see on most knives, and that 4th standoff in back here anchors the pocket clip to the inside of the handle scales, creating just a fantastic deep carry pocket clip that really just buries that knife in your pocket when you affix it to your pocket. If you like a deep carry knife, if you really don't want somebody to know that you have a knife on you, this is a great choice. The problem that creates, or can create, again more so with the CF version, is it becomes a little trickier getting the knife out if you are in a panic situation or a high stress situation. Where that slick carbon fiber can create a problem is if you reach down in there to get that knife, you could potentially slip on the carbon fiber scale, whereas you're less likely to do that with the G10 model over here. Although quite honestly, neither scale option is extremely high grip or high texture. This G10 does have some texture, does provide some traction. It's better than the carbon fiber. It's not great. So just keep in mind that, like many things in life, a deep carry pocket clip is a compromise, and there are pros and cons to having one, as opposed to having a pocket clip that is a little less deep carry, has more of the knife protruding from your pocket, makes grasping the knife in a stressful situation a little bit easier. Again, from a size and weight and a ergonomics and material standpoint, design features, the 0562 is an absolute home run for zero tolerance. If you're a knife guy, even if you're not a defensive knife guy, I think the 0562 is going to be a knife you're going to want to get a hold of. I'm not sure what else to say. Honestly, I think it's probably the best knife that I've seen zero tolerance produce. And to me, again, the fact that it's a regular edition, not limited edition, makes it all the more better because I can use either one of these knives. I can use them, I can abuse them. If I break a pocket clip, I know I'll be able to get another one from ZT. If I lose a part, or if I want to replace a part or a handle scale, I can call up ZT and I can do that. The limited edition models, generally, particularly on those parts that are unique to the limited edition models, you're not going to be able to replace them if they get damaged or lost. If you flat out lose the knife itself, you're out. It's going to be very difficult to replace one of the limited edition models because they go up so much in value on the secondary market. You'll either be paying an arm and a leg, or you just might not be able to find a replacement. So I much prefer having a knife that is a regular production model that the company is going to continue to produce, going to support with replacement parts. That is very important to me, and I'm very thankful that the zero tolerance is a regular production model. In terms of which model you should get, it really kind of comes down to how you're going to use it or how hard you're going to use it. The regular edition 0562 with the stone wash finish and the G10 grip, again, more the workhorse. That stone wash finish is going to be far less likely to show wear marks than this pseudo satin finish that's on the carbon fiber edition. I say pseudo because it's not like any satin finish that I've ever seen. It's a lot shinier, a lot more reflective. It's almost like a mix between a polished and a satin finish. Same kind of finish that was on the 0801 CF. And I do like it. It's growing on me. I'm just pleased to see something else than another option from ZT other than a stone wash finish. So I do like it, but again, that finish on the 0562 CF will be much more likely to show wear. So if you're really going to hard use it, you might want to think about going with this one. Personally, the difference between M390 and LMAX steel, M390 is a more premium blade steel, and that will mean something to a lot of knife enthusiasts. The more I'm in the knife game and learning about knives, I'm not sure that I'm going to notice much of a difference in terms of how I use a knife, in terms of the blade steel, but between these two knives. Maybe the M390 blade will require a little less sharpening than the LMAX, and that's a maybe. Both of them are super steels. Both of them come from the same company, Bowler. So the differences between them are really going to be not significant. I wouldn't use that as a criteria, nor really would I use the handle scale as a big criteria. Because again, I think this is, being a regular production model, it's going to sell in huge numbers. A lot of people are going to buy this. That means that the platform is going to be well supported by the aftermarket in terms of making aftermarket scales. So if you don't buy one or the other because you don't like, or because you like one of the scales, buy it for other reasons, I think, because there's going to be other options out there for scales, and the scale is very easy to change. I have disassembled the carbon fiber version, and was very easy to take apart and put back together, which I really appreciate. Makes maintenance much more simple, and it does making modifying the knife very simple. You can just take off the front scale and put it back on in just a couple of minutes, really. Just remove the 5 screws here, the pivot and the handle scales screws. Nothing else has to come apart if you want to just change the scale. Very, very nice that way. Very intelligent design. Also really appreciated the fact that you only need one T8 Torx driver to operate on this. All of the screws take a T8. No other tool is required. Very, very intelligent design. Really appreciate that, ZT. So is it a good knife? Yes, it's a great knife. Which one would you choose? I bought both, mainly for review purposes. I don't know that I'm going to keep the stonewashed version simply because I have other stonewashed knives that I can hard use. I think I'm probably going to have 2. I'm going to end up with 2. I've actually ordered another of the carbon fiber editions that I'm going to. One I will keep as a project knife that I'll do modifications to and make it a little bit more to my liking. The other one I'll keep stock. Probably this one. It's a low serial number. It's a production number 70. I'll probably want to keep that stock because I do think there's going to be a lot of interest in this knife in the future, just because of how great of a knife it is. In terms of how it carries, I have carried it for a couple of days, the carbon fiber model, and I've carried it inside the pocket without clipping to a pocket. It's a little heavy, but it's not too heavy. It's very nice and thin, so it carries inside the pocket well. If you're an office worker and use slacks, sometimes 3.5-inch size knives are difficult to carry in the pocket. This is not one. You can carry this very easily, and of course when you clip it to your pocket, that deep carry pocket clip is very nice. So this is a knife that could replace a lot of knives in your drawer, as a daily driver that can flex into a lot of different purposes. I really do like this knife, and there's really an insignificant price difference between them. I think you're talking about two. I think the carbon fiber model here retails for $300, and I think the retail on the 0562, the G10 handle version, retails for about $250. $50 between them. If you're already over a couple $100 in price, what's another $50? Get the carbon fiber version and just outfit it the way you want it. Beat on it, use it. Who cares about the finish? You can always buy another one, or do something that you want with the blade. If you like a stonewash finish, and I'm kind of, they're okay, they have their place, then definitely go for the little less expensive 0562. Let me take the carbon fiber model out of frame. Let me do a couple of size comparisons. Here's that 0550, the first Hinderer ZT collaboration. Just do a little size comparison here so that you can see. And a lot of people really wanted this knife when this knife came out. They really wanted this one to be a flipper. And you can see they're very close, very, very close. You can see this has that Hinderer slicer grind on it, which I think is just Hinderer marketing speak for basically a full flat ground drop point. Not a lot of difference between the grind on these two, but it's a very attractive blade. I actually think the ZT blade, the ZT interpretation of the Hinderer slicer grind is more attractive than Hinderer's own. It's just got a little more detail going on there. I like it. I like it a lot. So there's kind of a size comparison there. And I do have an XM18 to compare from a size comparison. I'll go ahead and do a full a full comparison between these two knives in a later review, in a later video, but just from a size perspective, you can kind of see, there they are, tip to tip. So they're close. They're pretty close. Let's see if we can get a thickness here. That's always a little more challenging to do. And I think the XM18 is just a little thicker, a little heavier. This one's a little easier to carry inside the pocket. Well, I've already made this video longer than I intended, so my apologies for making a long video, but there's a lot to go over. Again, really exciting knife that's come out if you're a knife guy. 2 thumbs up, great job. Zero tolerance. Best knife the company's produced yet, in my personal opinion, particularly if defensive considerations matter to you. Really like both the 0562 and the 0562 CF. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Plenty more coming, so please subscribe if you're not already. And again, do check out the written photo review on this knife, as well as the other reviews, both on Through My Lens at throughmylens.org or on the Through My Lens YouTube channel here on YouTube. Take care, God bless, we'll see you in the next video.